Hello. Someone's got to do their hair. I look like an Italian Guido. Somebody needs a haircut. All right. Let me see if I can get the camera adjusted. It said go to the live studio, which I'm in. And they said go to live. Where's the live studio? Edit. Share, mute. Settings. I'll go to edit. Webcam. Customization. Not there. Details. Not there. Okay, so I'm in studio. Settings icon. In live control room. For some reason, my camera is not working, which, again, not a big deal. We work with what we've got. Hopefully somebody's in here. Settings icon, live control room. YouTube live control room. Okay. Right. Somebody's on with us. Good. We go live in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, people. I'll see if I can set this reset. Minute. Go. Right there. And that seemed kind of important. Let's let the camera. 2 minutes, guys. I'll be back in 2 minutes. All right. There we go. 1 minute to showtime. 1 minute to showtime. Ish. Oh my gosh. You guys are going to freak out when you see the show we have today. Freak out. It's amazing. My camera's a little crappy. It's the laptop camera. It's not my webcam, but that's okay. We work with what we've got. You know the morning mark. All right, let's see here. Let me go here to my themes. What is today's date? 25th. All right. That's it. Wow, that's annoying. Okay. We're live, we're live, we're live. That's right, we are live. Good morning, business builders, and welcome to Business for Breakfast, where business is the most important middle of the day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, otherwise known as VBG. Our goal in this show, thank you, sir, appreciate that. Our goal in this show is to make you 1% smarter today by unpacking business news over the last 24 hours, sprinkle with tips and tricks to help you mind your own business. But you're not here for me. I know why you here, my beautiful peeps. You here for the morning mock. That's right. No props required, no drinks, no gear, just you and a functioning brain. We'll work with what we've got. Wherever you are, desk, truck, kitchen, job site, standing or sitting. It don't matter. Pick one thing you finish today, not a list, not 10, not 3, just one. Okay. Mark it mentally and write it down. That is the line in the sand. That's the thing the day doesn't get to erase. This is the pause that sharpens the edge, the moment that turns noise into signal. It's the tiny act that makes business owners dangerous in a good way. That, my friends, is your morning mark. All right. Your day's officially started, people. All right. You drive, I'll dive, buckle up, buttercup, and let's roll. Okay. Now, you know, we always start with this day in history, and it don't disappoint today. You guys are going to be blown away, like blown when you see what's going on in history today. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Remember, today, everything is live and current. Today being Wednesday, February 25th. Yes, today is Wasabi Wednesday. I know. We got some serious spice for you guys today. Some serious spice, but that's at the end. You guys know Wasabi Wednesday. We talk about tea, and my Housewives of Beverly Hills is always a part of this. I can't wait to find out in the last week the tea, because last week was fantastic. But today, you're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it. Today, February 25th, 1836, Samuel Colt patents the revolver. That's right. Well, we kind of figured out last name of Colt. He had to patent something to do with a gun. Are you tracking? Right. So no, dude, literally it featured a rotating cylinder, right, containing several little chambers, each of which could fire through a single barrel, fundamentally changed personal defense and military tactics. So we already know what a revolver is. Of course, now we have automatic loading, but that was game changing. What else happened in this day in history? Today, February 25th, 1928, first television license in the U.S. So the it used to be called, now it's the FCC, but it used to be called the Federal Radio Commission, the FRC. Now it's the FCC, Federal Communication Commission. Granted the very first television station license to Charles Jenkins for station W3XK in Maryland. Pivotal moment in the birth of the broadcast age, eventually leading to the mass media landscape we navigate today. What? Today in history, 1950, the very first. Dude, today is like the day of first, bro. The first photocopy. While the concept was developed early, today marks a significant point in the refinement of Zerography by the Haloid Company, later named Xerox. I did not know. Did you guys know this? Remember, like our job today is to learn 1%. Let's learn one thing today. Did you know that Xerox got its name from Zerography? I didn't freaking know that. Like, that's a real thing. Zerography. What? Xerox. Okay. I was like, how the hell did they get their name? Today, this day in history, 1791, the very first bank of the United States. President George Washington signed a bill into law chartering the very first bank. It's called the First Bank of the United States, proposed by Alexander Hamilton. This was a cornerstone of the new nation's financial system aimed at consolidating Revolutionary War debt and creating a national currency. The first state bank, the first bank of U.S. What a great, great name. What else is going on? Oh, famous birthdays today, February 25th, 1943, George Harrison. That's right. The Quiet Beatle, right? This dude literally, matter of fact, is he still the only member still alive? Paul McCartney, I don't know. But no, George Harrison, huge member of the Beatles. Who else? You guys remember in the 1980s, a phenomenal and 90s wrestler named Ric Flair, right? Nature Boy. Today is that dude's birthday. One of the greatest wrestlers. He was always like, woo, woo, Woo! Now you know exactly what I'm talking about. You had to see that. I know. What else happened this day in history? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it. Okay. So in 2021, the Perseverance, remember, this is like space stuff, captures sound on Mars. 2021. We have a cell phone right here, and half the time we're like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And yet somehow we can translate conversations from flippity flip Mars. What the rizzle is up with our tech? Either we're lying about it all, or we're hiding the greatest tech on earth from the people. It's probably the latter, to be honest with you. Now, the fun fact for today, which you guys know, I am a huge, huge mad fan of the national days. Okay. So today, in honor of Ace Ventura, okay, number one. Number two, also amazing, but this is number one. Okay. Today is National Clam Chowder Day. Yes, yes, and yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Do you like is it the New England or the clam, right? He's like, damn it, I never remember that. New England. Boop, lets the door up. That's right, that's right. The password for today is clam chowder, people. Clam chowder. Man, that sounds freaking amazing. Go to Panera today, man. Get you some clammy. That stuff is fantastic. Fantastic. All right. I knew you guys would love this day in history. It's literally like one of my favorite things. And I always tell you guys, once you learn 1%, go, bro. Now, hang out after you learn something just because you want to be entertained, but you're not here to learn. Okay. I promise you've learned 1% before we even get into juice and news. Juice and news. Juice news. Okay. And you have no idea what the juicy news is coming up today, man. It is going to be powerful. Powerful. All right. Now, let's see here. Let's jump into actually the juicy news. Okay. Now, you guys know that every day is a themed day. So today is Wednesday, which we know it's hump day and it's Wasabi Wednesday. We need a little spice and we need a little tea to get us through the rest of the week. Are you tracking? Are you tracking? Okay, good. Now, when we talk about juicy news, you guys know that this is the most relevant, up-to-date news specifically for our mom and pop Venti Shops. And you guys know that we're the only accounting firm on earth that does the accounting plus accountability. And I only bring that up because I know a lot of you guys you're stuck. You've been planning something for a couple of years and you don't know what the next step is. You need to strategize on, do I do this or do this? You need help. We're here for you. So we always, for us, it's just ministry for us. Our job is to help you guys suffer less. And there's two ways to reach out to us. Number one, businessforbreakfastradio.com. Submit a question, ask about a business idea, whatever. I'll reply back directly or read it on air. Or number two, speakwithaaron.com, speakwithaaron.com. Okay. Now that you guys know that, okay, I think it's time for us to delve into the best part of today. Well, let me take that back. The second best, because in my opinion, Wasabi Wednesday, which you guys know, I'm like 30 to 40% female. I freaking love the tea. I'm also Italian, and Italians love tea. Okay. All right. But let's talk about the briefing today. Can we? Can we? Hey, here is our very first story for one. Here's the title: Senate Hearing, Restoring Integrity of Small Business Programs. This is a huge story for us. Today, February 25th, the U.S. Senate Committee on Small Business and Entrepreneurship is holding a high-stakes hearing titled From Fraud to Recovery. The session features testimony from the Pandemic Response Accountability Committee on restoring the integrity of SBA programs following years and years of fraud concern. You guys remember us talking about this a couple weeks ago, that the PPP, they sent out, I think, about $1 trillion, and they estimated approximately 20% of that, 200 billion, fraudulent. 200 billion, fraudulent. Taking money from us, mom and pop Venti Shops, right? We're the ones that need it. We're the ones that need help. And by the way, just so you guys know, all we do is paperwork. So, and trust me, there's some insano loan programs coming up. If you guys need help with this paperwork, we do it all day long. And we can help you guys with that too. And again, hit me up at speakwithaaron.com or businessforbreakfastradio.com. Submit a question, whatever, you'll get to us. But this is a huge deal for us because this particular hearing, it's kind of the precursor, right? It's the precursor oversight and the potentially new streamlined recovery grants, right, for our honest businesses and business owners, okay, that used to be crowded out by all the fraudsters and all the people that weren't citizens. I know this sounds weird, but literally you as a citizen were put last on the priority list to get funding. I know that sounds weird. But that's the way it's been. So I knew that that would be a huge news story for you guys. And so what else is going on in the news today? This is huge, man. So the SBA, here's the title, SBA 8A Purge, 1,000 plus, they call quote unquote shell firms have been suspended. Okay, so here's the story. In a major Main Street first move, the SBA has officially suspended 1,091 firms, just under 1,100, 25% of the 8A program. What is the SBA 8A program? Why don't we just ask and find out what that is? Shall we? What is SBA 8A program? It's a 9-year federal contracting assistance program for small businesses owned and controlled by socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. Oh. At least 51% owned and controlled by U.S. citizens who are socially and economically disadvantaged. Approximately 51% are eligible for it. But the program benefit access to set aside and sole source contracts, business development assistance, and mentorship. It's a one-time 9-year certification. And what you're seeing here is if these businesses cannot prove that they are I'm trying to think of the word, but it's following the rules. Okay. Legit, legal, whatever the word is, the SBA is suspending. Whereas before they would just turn a blind eye to it. But to be honest with you, this is our money. Like, this is a big deal for me. And so I'm glad that this is happening. And again, that we don't play politics on the show. We don't look left or right. We don't see colors. We don't see red or blue. What we see here is mom and pop Venti Shops, and that's it. Okay. So let's jump into our next amazing story. Ready for this? Section 139L, lenders can exclude 25% of interest income. So here's the story for us. A new IRS provision, it's called Section 139L, now allows eligible lenders to exclude 25% of interest income from their federal taxable income when the loan is made to a qualifying small business. What? No freaking way. That's huge, man. So basically, lenders are going to be incentivized, right, to loan money specifically to us mom and pop Venti Shops, because they're going to be able to basically exclude 25% of the income, the interest income from the loan, from the federal taxes. If this is not a massive carrot for like local community banks, because honestly, lenders, keep more of the profit on loans to small businesses. And so for small businesses, this is for small banks, this is a huge carrot. So if you had difficulty getting a SBA loan or small business loan before, now I think we're going to be able to start seeing a lot of changes when it comes to that, a lot of changes, which is all amazing for us. You hear what I'm saying, right? Okay. You want to know what else is going on in the news today? How about an amazing story from Harvard Business Review? So this hit X a couple days ago. It says the qualities that make CEOs look good to boards have little to do with what actually makes them successful in the role. Would you like to know the summary of this story? I know I would. New chat. Please, remember, you're always going to be polite to your AI. Always say please and thank you. The way your parents taught you. Please summarize this article in 100 words. Okay, here we go. What sets them apart? So The study identifies 4 critical behaviors of high-performing CEOs. And remember, this is also your CEO test. So if you're the personality type, when we talk about these, if you're like, oh my God, that's me, you were really put on earth to basically be a CEO. Okay. Number 1, here's the 4 critical behaviors. Okay. Speed, so decisiveness, speed over perfection. You hear us done well is better than perfect. That's not the saying. The saying is actually done is better than perfect. But to be honest with you, I've seen done work and I'd rather it not be done. So I modified it 20 years ago to say done well is better than perfect. Okay. Mark says it very similar. Is the enemy of profit. Okay. So all we're talking about here is get something done, version 1.0. Stop. Here's really what it is. A lot of times, if you're stuck, it's because you have an engineering mindset, which means you suffer from paralysis by analysis, right? So your job is to break it up into smaller pieces, right? Because you get overwhelmed thinking about A to Z. So we don't need to worry about A to Z, but you do need to obsess over A to E. The first few steps, usually when you're starting something from an idea, it's the idea to cash flow, to like your first dollar is usually A to E. Where we come into play for the accounting firm is like F to L. Like we're not even in the beginning. We're not even in the beginning because you don't need us until you make money, right? And then our job is to continue to help you be profitable, dominate your market, double your profits, blah, blah, blah. Be here 50 years from now, right? But you don't need us in the beginning, right? So that's what we're talking about here. Do not focus on perfection, okay? Because it is going to sink your ship if you do, okay? Number 2, engaging for impact, meaning aligning with your stakeholders. And who are your stakeholders in your mom and pop? Because a lot of times you're like, we're not publicly traded. Here's your stakeholders. First, your customers, team members, vendors. Engaging for impact. Your job is to align with your 3 groups of stakeholders. Okay. Meaning you got to communicate. Do you do well communicating? Here's what we're doing. Here's what we're about to do. By the way, this is a problem. We apologize. You know, that type of stuff. Do you communicate with your stakeholders? Number 3, proactive adaptation, which is, it's really your long-term agility. Okay. And here's the deal. This is such a huge piece of the puzzle because you have to be able to see what's coming. It's how you survive. Honestly, one of my skills in business, I don't have many, but one of them is I'm a very good predictor of trends. And I'm usually 5 to 10 years ahead of trends that become mainstay or normal. And so this is what we're talking about here. Do you have the ability to see what's going on and make adjustments to the future? Okay. And number 3, reliable execution. So success is defined by consistent behavior. Okay. So you guys hear me talk about this all the time. Success is a very simple formula. It's 25% planning and 75% execution. Okay. And you hear me say this every single day, all the time. Routine is the key and consistency will set you free. So now those are the 4 traits of high performing CEOs: decisiveness, speed over perfection, engaging for impact, or aligning with your stakeholders, proactive adaptation. So that's your long-term agility, and reliable execution. You know, if you go schedule a call with me, and again, we talk about anything you want to talk about. You want to talk about accounting, strategy, consulting, whatever, schedule it at speakwithaaron.com, speakwithaaron.com. And trust me, when you go there, you'll see that I call you on the nose, like a doctor's appointment, on the nose. But the thing is your team has to trust you. You have to be the most important person that they trust. And that's the reason why it's so important that you are reliable. Meaning, like, if you say it, do it. That's it. And here's the deal. And please, if you're a female listening to this, this is not a negative thing for you, but this is a masculine energy, not a feminine energy. Feminine energies are very emotionally based. And trust me, it's needed because you don't want a bunch of dudes running the world. You need them actually thinking of people and empathy and sympathy and crap like that. But guys, are the masculine energy is, we have a job to do, we have systems, we have processes, and we need to get this done. And so this is what we're talking about here. Okay, so this is just you being consistently reliable as the owner or the manager of your team. Trust me, routine is the key. Consistency sets you free. Please trust me. You'll see 10 years from now, you're like, for the love of Mary, when A.A. Ron said that, I didn't even know what he meant. But now that I think about it, I'm 90 years old and oh my God, it literally was the most important advice I ever got. By the way, that is the most important business advice I've ever received, or created. By the way, I'm the one that created that like 20 years ago. But everything in my life is engineered to routine is the key. Consistency sets me free. Okay. So you guys do the same thing. And I assure you, your life changes today, right? What else is going on in the news today? Are you guys ready? I told you today was going to be amazing. Amazing. Okay. Here we go. Talking about, here's the title. The value-seeking structural shift reaches 70%. So here's the story. The new 2026 retail data from Deloitte and Douche shows that 70% of retail executives believe trading down and cost-conscious shopping is now a permanent structural change in the U.S. economy, not a temporary inflation response. So what we're saying here is we as consumers are now, like when you go to Amazon, it'll literally show you, and it has for years, but now we're paying attention to it, to the like price per serving. You're starting to see it now. Okay. And now everything is gauged off of that. Like toilet paper, it's basically what's the quantity based off of the length. Like everything is based off of that. And now we're looking at labels. Like, for decades, we're like, oh my God, we have so much money. And we're like, baller, right? And that crap on fire. Now we're like, hold on. Can I just blow it back at me, please? I need some of that money back at me, So that's what we're doing here. This is a very, very healthy shift of the way we used to be. Go back. I'm obsessed with checkbooks. Checkbooks and ledgers. I actually have a ledger, an actual brown big ledger from like an old Little House on the Prairie, like 5 and dime store. It's actually a friend of mine who's like 60, and it was his grandparents' store. I'm obsessed with old ledgers and checkbooks. Go find somebody's checkbook, yours or your parents', grandparents' checkbook from the 80s, and go tell me what they paid for on a monthly basis. And you don't think that all companies have been engineered to get you don't own anything, everything is rented, and the best part is everything is also now made disposable. So yeah, no, we're just screwed all around. Like it's just horrible for us, but again, it's just the way it is. And the great thing is, as a society, we always reset. Think about a pendulum swing, right? It's up here before the internet, drop it. Oh my God, like here it is, right? But then it settles. There's always the plumb line. There's always true north. Okay. But when you release and you flood, it's got to take that time to settle. And that's what we're talking about here. It's just, we as a society are just now going back to the way we used to be. And now we're paying attention to that crap. You know what I'm saying? What else is going on in the news today? Oh my gosh, man. I told you, man. Oh my word, bro. I don't know why I feel so amazing about this story, but Bloomberg is reporting the trial, the first of several planned for this year, is drawing comparisons to Big Tobacco's reckoning with consumer addiction 3 decades ago. So the trial is for big tech, and it's a picture of curly, frowed hair Zuckerberg. Okay. We all know that dude decided 4 years ago to invest approximately $400 million into supporting the elections. And again, we don't pick left or right here, but I do have a problem when tech, who their job is to censor, and they are now censoring, and they're picking political sides. That is my problem. Okay, look, yes, I agree that there's an issue with social media, and you have to understand, dude. Like all the big tech companies, this device right here, okay, this guy, okay. Each of these companies that supports this, the software, the OS, whatever, literally has thousands of behavior engineers and scientists who their entire job is to test, A/B test different things to see what makes you more addicted to the app. Yeah. So no, without question, they're doing it on purpose to get you to stay on the platform. Now, again, is that good or bad? I don't know. Is somebody that's obese, is it their fault? Well, I don't know, because you understand that highly processed foods are created to be addictive. You know that the United States of America The FDA, we're like the only country that allows big food to remove like all fiber from the food. But fiber is the one thing that fills you up and keeps you satiated. And yet we're allowed to remove it from all food. Like, what? If the food comes out of a factory in a box, there's no fiber in there on purpose to get you to keep eating their crap. I'm just telling you, man, like it is a broken system that definitely needs to be fixed. Definitely. Okay. So what else is going on in the news today? Oh man, this is enormous. Okay. So here's the title: New alternative base rates for SBA 7A loans. Okay. So here's the story. Effective March 1st, the SBA is introducing new alternative base rate options for variable interest rate loans. This move is designed to provide more flexibility and potentially lower initial costs for borrowers in a volatile rate environment. Why does this matter to us mom and pop Venti shops? If we're shopping for an SBA loan, okay, to like expand, like for us buy another practice or whatever, wait until next week to lock in your terms. Like talk today, but don't lock any terms until next week. Okay. Remember, March 1st, that's literally like this weekend. These new base rates are going to offer a more favorable starting point compared to like more traditional prime or LIBOR based rates. You get what I'm saying? So huge for us mom and pop Venti shops. If you're looking, now's the time to do it. Start working with the SBA. And by the way, I say this all the time, and it's kind of a great plug for us. For an accounting firm, we spend most of our time in administrative tasks doing paperwork. And I know a lot of times we talk about SBA and loans and this and that, and most of you guys are like, I don't have anybody to help me with this. We know. We got you. And so there's always two ways to hit us up. You can ask a question, whatever it is, at businessforbreakfastradio.com. I'll reply back directly or read it on air. Or you can speak to me directly at speakwithaaron.com, speakwithaaron.com, and you'll get directly to me, speakwithaaron.com, and we'll talk about anything you want to talk about, business consulting, strategy planning, accounting, taxes, payroll, whatever. And when you talk about paperwork, the new SBA loan, whatever it is, okay, we got you. Okay. Now, what else is going on in the news today? I swear, bro, every day I'm like, I can't wait to get up in the morning because I'm giddy about what we're talking about. Okay. So a great article on Forbes a couple days ago. Get advice about staying up to date on modern job skills. Explore Forbes' best midsize and larger employer list, and more in this week's career newsletter. So are you guys ready for this? Because what I'm going to do is we're going to analyze it. Okay. So please summarize this article. And I'm going to say 200 words or less, and list the characteristics of these companies. Here's the article. Okay. You guys ready? Are you ready? We do this live, man. Like the thing about that I love about the show is I learn with you, right? I'm addicted to the show, dude. It's like I do the show for me, but I know I'm you. And so I do it for you, but I'm also doing it for me. Here's what we're talking about here. Okay. Best mid-sized employers. Okay. The survey, blah, blah, blah. The list identified 1,100 total organizations, 498 mid-size and 701 large. Okay. Characteristics of these top companies. So I'm not going to give you the list, but I'm going to tell you the characteristics because this is something that we can do. Okay. So remember, the companies that are like the best companies to work for, that you know about have been operating like that when you didn't know about them. Okay. So remember, they go first and then eventually everybody else catches up to where they've been for decades. Okay. So here's the characteristics of the top companies to work for. Number one, employee advocacy. High ratings for workers who are likely to recommend their employer to a friend and family. That's such a big metric because we're big believers. If we hire you, like you're hired for life. We hire for life at IBM, not big blue or small blue. But it's a big deal for us. And so when you operate your business like that, and by the way, speaking of like just business, and if you have a shop, that one thing will completely transform your business today. Because right now, a small business, you think of everybody that works there as just an employee doing a job, and you treat them as such. But if your mindset changes to these people are with me for life, you'll be very, very careful about who you hire and who you let in the business. When you understand that who you're going in partnership with, and that includes the business partner itself and your team members, it's like a marriage. You need to handpick those people. Trust me. If you're big on a certain type of culture, vibe, and synergy, you as the owner must handpick these individuals. Okay. Number two, strong compensation and benefits. This is where it's difficult for mom and pop because they don't have the discretionary income to be able to pay for this, but everything else is there. Growth opportunities, okay, commitment to training programs and clear path for professional advancement. You have to understand, like, I remember years ago, I was reading about, I think the Container Store, who's always been ranked in like one of the top companies to work for. And it talked about training, and they said their mindset has always been train your people so well they can go anywhere and do the job, but treat them so well they don't want to go anywhere. And man, if that is not like for us at our accounting firm, like, are you kidding? Like, we are just, if you're here, fantastic. If you have a better opportunity, we're going to high five and throw you a party. Like, but you understand, you have to create those environments for like growth opportunities, training opportunities. Okay. What else? Positive work environment. You have to understand, culture is engineered either intentionally or unintentionally. I prefer to engineer it intentionally. Okay. So you have to foster a culture of support. Okay. Belonging, healthy work environment. We got to get rid of the cancers and the toxic people that people work around. It's those individuals that tend to do the most damage because they think that they're protected. It's like they feel like they have diplomatic immunity, and it's just not okay. Okay. Positive work environment, we discussed. Resilience. So the ability to maintain high employee morale despite external pressures like inflation and technological disruption. And the last, which you hear me say it every effing day, consistency. Okay. So companies that do this consistently tend to just outrank everybody and have the happiest people, happiest customers, everything. Routine is the key, and consistency sets you free. Was that not a freaking amazing story? I knew you would love it. I knew it. I just felt it. Okay. So what else is going on in the news today? God, I told you there's so many amazing things. Thank you, Forbes, for that amazing article. Okay. So here it is. Bloomberg, a couple days ago, Apple's 40-day correlation to the NASDAQ 100 index tumbled to 0.21 last week, the lowest since 2006. That's right. You want to know why? Easy, because Tim Cook is a manager, not a visionary. He is a phenomenal COO president. Okay. He's not the guy that's sitting around thinking of ideas and this and that. It was rumored that before Steve passed away, actually yesterday was his birthday, and I think it was yesterday, but before he passed away, it was rumored he handed Tim Cook a notebook of 10 years of ideas, the iPad, innovations, all this stuff. And so basically Tim just had to just execute what he was handed, which is really cool, by the way. Okay. And so this is not that, right? So this is not what you're seeing here is what's been going on for years, which is Apple is slowly becoming, I don't know, irrelevant. They are literally every day becoming 1% more and more irrelevant. And honestly, the only way Apple has any chance of making it out of this, you hope and pray it doesn't get to the way it was when Steve Jobs was brought back in when Apple bought Next Computer back in the 90s, and they brought him in as the interim CEO. If you remember, Apple was on the brink of extinction. It actually required a $100 million infusion from Microsoft, and they had to completely revolutionize everything. And Steve, because he's a visionary, visionaries, you understand, bro, they live in the fourth dimension. So the third dimension, which is what we all see, touch, and feel, but they don't live here. They live in the future. They're planning. They're always thinking. They're literally Pollyanna mindsets. Okay. That is not Tim Cook. That was Steve Jobs. Until Apple gets another Tim Cook, you're screwed. Apple, it's not if, it's when they become irrelevant. It's happening right now, right now. And this NASDAQ price, where's this story? Apple's 40-day correlation to the NASDAQ 100 tumbled. That doesn't surprise me whatsoever. I was like, when are we going to start actually seeing? The problem is they got so much damn cash that everybody's just addicted to cash. And so people are like, oh my God, they have trillions in cash. I mean, they literally have billions and billions of cash. What else is going on in the news today? I'm telling you, man, there is so much beef and tea. And wait until Wasabi Wednesday, meaning wait until the end of the show and I do a Wasabi Wednesday update. If you're 25% Italian, you're going to love this. Okay. Italians love tea. It's just what we do. Okay. We love women and we love tea. Okay. And I've been married to the same cat for 30 years and she is freaking amazing. Okay. But here's a phenomenal story by Fast Company. When you work alone, you have to actively find ways to be around other people. One of the biggest problems that we've dealt with is this concept of, please summarize this story. Sorry, my webcam's not connected. So it's the laptop webcam that I'm doing this from. So as I type, you're seeing this whole screen shift in 100 words or less. So you guys know since COVID, right? It really broke a lot of us in half. And I think we have an understanding of why. And I think it has to do with laws of physics, like objects in motion tend to stay in motion, objects at rest tend to stay at rest, unless acted upon by an outside source, right? And so I kind of feel like that COVID was kind of the acted on by an outside source that forced all of us into new behaviors. And the problem is it made a lot of those permanent behaviors. And then companies started shifting, going to like remote work, which then compounded the problem. You have to understand, we as a people are community minded. Okay. You guys know that I'm training for my annual cross-country bike ride. And matter of fact, I leave in, I think 50 days. It's on my phone. 50 days I leave, which is April 16th, the day after tax season. And, I have to stay in baseline conditioning all year long. And by the way, if you want to check out anything we're doing, you can go to search for our Facebook page, Pedaling Against Ponzi's, or go to ponzirelief.org and you'll see the hard work that we do to bring awareness to victims of Ponzi schemes and financial crimes. You can't do what we do for a career and happen to sit across the table for some of these people that we're taking advantage of and not change their life. And so I'm not talking about that, about the heart project that we have. It's about when I go to the gym. And so I've been in the gym and I basically live at the gym the last 2 months before I leave. And I've been at the gym. I'm talking when there's been nobody there. And like last night, I went around 6 o'clock. Okay. And the energy of the gym, you have to understand, we as humans are vibrating energy constantly. Okay. And here's the thing about energy. It's transferable and it catches. Okay. So, what they're talking about here is this thing is we as a society have gotten away from being in community with other people. We need each other. It takes a village to raise us, bro. Okay. It takes a village to raise us. And I don't know, the reason why I felt so excited about this is because it was bringing attention to something that has needed attention. Okay. And so solitude. Okay. One of Rebecca and I's favorite shows to watch is a show called Alone. Okay. By the way, go watch it. It's redonkulous. Go watch Alone. Okay. And it's a entire cast, 10. They're like 10 Bear Grylls. And I'm talking shooting freaking squirrels on a run with a bear and arrow. I swear to God, you will see that literally episode 1. Okay. No exaggeration. Shooting squirrels on a run, birds in air with bows and arrows. That's Alone. See how long people last when they're by themselves. Yeah. And you guys all know right up here, there's a saboteur that lives. I always call him Plankton from SpongeBob because most of the time this dude is like screaming. He's like, "I will rule the world," right? But then when you get him out of your head, he's like smaller than a grain of rice. He's like, he's like a little chipmunk. But that dude loves it when you're alone. Loves it. Okay. So trust me on this. It is dangerous for you to be alone and isolated. Dangerous. The enemy, the saboteur, loves hanging out there. Here's what you need to do. Start going to co-working spaces, for the love of Mary. Schedule networking events to prevent this isolation, right? And here's the other thing. Go to like other places like cafes to benefit from that passive sociability, because it's passive social energy that is transferred and we all catch it. Ultimately, you got to be around people. Okay. And by the way, I love being by myself. The isolation, like my favorite person to hang out with is me. But I also understand, bro, it's not good for me at all if I'm not outside with people or at the gym or just around people. Go to co-working spaces, schedule some networking events, and go hang out at the third place, the cafe, wherever, man, there's really nice Planet Fitnesses, and they've got sitting areas. Like if you want to go to Planet Fitness, go there. They've got like those massage chairs and the crap on the back. Like if you're like a Black Card members, which by the way, I know if you're not a Planet Fitness member, you automatically think I'm a bougie little biatch. And no, if you know anything about Planet Fitness, okay, it's $25 and you get access to all their gyms. And you know that we are big van life people, and we've got a Amazon van that we converted to like our little, I call it my cozy condo. But in between all the offices, that's how we go. And so you have to have a membership to Planet Fitness if you want to shower. Okay. So we have a shower in the van, but I don't shower there. I shower at a Planet Fitness. And you have no idea how many I've been into. You're like, you freaking kidding? I could work here. Like really, really nice gyms. Okay. $25 a month. I'm not kidding, man. And they've got 2,500 gyms nationwide. Yes. So you need people. We need people. Okay. I need them. You need them. We all need them. And I got to tell you, man, a couple of days ago, bro, my daughter and my wife had some tears because Dr. McSteamy, I think it was Dr. McSteamy. I don't think it was Dreamy, but it was actor Eric Dane passed away from ALS. And I tell you, you talk about a beautiful soul of a man. And yes, let's be honest. You don't even have to be a chick to realize, oh, that dude, crazy hot. Okay. But what he went through, and bro, he did a tribute to his family. Holy hell, bro. It's powerful, man. If that doesn't bring a tear and help you reprioritize what's important to you, go watch it. Eric Dane, what a beautiful human being and soul. And want to honor his amazing career and his family and his legacy. Thank you, Dr. McSteamy, for your years, by the way. I had to witness my wife and daughter every damn day for years to go from episode 1 of Grey's Anatomy to current. Did you hear what I just said? Literally, the only show that's been on longer than Grey's Anatomy is freaking Simpsons. Okay. Like, no exaggeration. Every day, freaking Dr. McDreamy, Dr. McSteamy. I swear, I was like, I need something stat. Okay. Like, it was crazy. But that guy had an amazing legacy, way more than just acting. So thank you, sir, for your years and years of service. We appreciate you. And as a community of supporters and fans, thank you. Thank you, Eric. Beautiful human being. All right. There we go. Next story. I swear, I freaking told you that like the news is insane today. It's just, it's always insane, but it's like really insane. Okay. This came out, I think yesterday. Lowe's earnings beat as sales jump moves more than 10% despite sluggish housing market. Lowe's ain't Home Depot, bro. They ain't. And this is a big deal. So my neighbor across the street, I think he's like a manager at Lowe's or something. And so we were just talking the other day and catching up, and he was telling me about how he's finally going to part-time. And I'm like, bro, Larry, you're 7 years old. Like the only reason this dude works is clearly because he can't sit still and has nothing else to do. They don't need it. They have plenty of money. They're fine. It's just stay active. Okay. But he's telling me what Lowe's is doing now, bro. When you hear their AI and their tech, yeah, it's going to blow your face, your mind, and your head off your body. And you're going to stop shopping at Home Depot. And I love Home Depot. Okay. But Lowe's, I'm not kidding here, man. Lowe's is way more centered on the customer, the individual experience, and Home Depot is more centered on the commercial. So both will service personal and commercial, individual commercial, but one focuses more on the other. And here's how I'm going to prove it to you. Lowe's recently, You ready for this? Go to Lowe's and you're going to start seeing they have cameras on the aisles. And it's not who's cramming crap in the pocket. No, they're AI cameras designed to see how you're moving. And if the camera senses, listen to me, this is Lowe's. This is where AI is a benefit, okay? Because they're not trying to remove the human, they're trying to make it more efficient. Big difference. Lowe's now, okay, if you're in an aisle and it sees you kind of going back and forth, the AI camera sees it and triggers an associate to come and hang out with you and see what you need. They now have robots that scan. Boop, 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 boop. Rosie the robot's going down the aisle scanning just-in-time inventory. Yep, to make sure it's always accurate, it's always there, so that way you as a consumer always have what you need. Bro, how many times have we been to Home Depot? You guys know what I'm talking about. And we need to cut this piece of plywood. And hand to God, it is like this every time you go to Home Depot. Go anytime you want until you need something. And then there's no floor associates anywhere. They're like not there. You're like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. And then at the wood cutting machine, there is never a human being there unless somebody's cutting wood. Otherwise, good luck. And here's the best part. Those idiots that work the pro desk literally sit on their butts and do nothing all day. So instead of them moving from the counter and coming to help you, which they can, they will actually call somebody while they sit and chat. Yeah. Home Depot does not have the ear to the customer that Lowe's does. And when you see Lowe's and their earnings beating, you know why. Their focus is on the individual and not the commercial application. And we as a society are rewarding Lowe's for that. We are. It's happening right now, right? So when I see this, man, it just gets me excited because big companies are finally using tech to help us by helping humans be more efficient to help us rather than AI. So we're just going to remove every human being and just come and go, scan, walk out, whatever you want to do, no humans. No, again, we are human beings. We must be in a village, in a community. We must be, okay? It's the way we're wired, bro. We're wired this way. You can't change how we're wired. What else is going on in the news, man? I tell you, has it not been a freaking amazing day in news? I told you today was going to be amazing. And you're like, hey, Aaron, yeah, right, every day. Bro, you just don't know. You don't know, okay? This is a big deal. Here's the title of the article. 1% remittance excise tax, new reporting requirements. So here's the story. As of late 2025, early 2026, the IRS now requires all businesses that act as remittance transfer providers, meaning money goes back and forth, Western Union type of thing. You have to collect a 1% excise tax on cash, money order, or cashier's check transactions. It's a 1% penalty for paying with money that is not traceable. Go to Walmart and go send something through Western Union and tell me $500, you're going to pay a $5 excise fee. 1%. Yep. We already know, the thought that we had of secrecy and all that, I mean, we already know, there is no such thing as privacy. Everybody knows everything. And that's why, dude, the best advice I could ever give you is just act as though your life is a Truman Show and you're living in a glass box. Just act like that. Obviously, that's not this case. Now, if you're religious and you have certain beliefs, if there's some magical dude with a beard floating between the earth and the moon who's constantly searching to and fro, judging those based on what is on a computer screen or a laptop or all that stuff. Okay, but other than that type of deity that's overseeing, we have that same deity, and it's called our government. And they're omniscient, they're all-knowing. Their job is to know everything about you before you know about you. Their job is to know more about you than you know about you. This is a continuation of that story. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Now, can we talk about and roll into, okay? I know. You guys, by the way, amazing Juicy News Day, right? You don't even know juicy news until we get to Wasabi Wednesday, because Wasabi Wednesday is juicy news times 4. So when we do juicy news, it's just normally times 3, but this is a fourth juicy news. This is juicy news on steroids, okay? Because this is over the last couple of weeks of celebrity, athlete, famous people gossip, okay? And I know it sounds crazy, but I'm a big fan of Housewives, okay? So Lisa Rinna, which, come on, bro, I don't know any human being that does not love this chick, okay? Just dropped her freaking memoir. You better believe I'm going to talk about it. Oh my God. What does she always say? I am effing Lisa Rinna, okay? Oh, she is, bro. This chick is phenom, okay? You can't just watch her and not just love her, okay? So that is huge, 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 okay? Let's see. Brandy Glanville had her own horror show, okay? No way. No. Oh my God, dude. You don't want to see these pictures, bro. Oh my God, she looks horrible. On February 18th, she revealed on TMZ that her 20-year-old breast implants ruptured, leaking silicone into her lymph nodes, bro, which we all know causes that like Bell's palsy. It's the facial paralysis type of thing, okay? And so she kind of has that variation of Bell's palsy. It's horrible. It's horrible. But at the same time, society does this to you ladies. It's just a constant beatdown that you have to perform or look a certain way. And the difficult thing is, go ask any dude. And he's like, no, none of that's attractive. But to all girls that have a little meat on them, they think that they have to be like Ozempic skinny. And you're like, right, but no dude actually likes that. But instead of actually asking the dude what they like, they then think, oh, well, the Kardashians said it has to be like this, which means they know better than my dude. No, they don't. No, they're trying to sell shit to you. Your dude actually knows you. And all your dude cares about is you being happy. So the reason why a dude pays for this is just so you're happy. The problem is none of that shit buys you happiness. None of it. Happiness is internally, man. Why? Because, look, dude, you are enough. You are enough. You need nothing else. You are made perfect, right? And so it just breaks my heart because I know that these people are trying really hard to achieve something that they can never get, and it's destroying their body. And it's so difficult to see that. It really is. Now, we all know, okay, about Kim Kardashian and Louis Hamilton and why is my boy hanging out with that chick. And by the way, I'm not saying anything's bad about Kim. Okay. I think she tries really hard without going to law school. She's trying to get herself in as an attorney. The problem is you need 4 years of law school to actually know how to pass the bar. You can't just get in as an apprentice and think that you're going to learn through osmosis how to do attorney stuff. Other than that, no, man, I think she is complicated. I think she has a lot of beautiful qualities about her. But Louis Hamilton? Come on, bro. Like, that dude is cut different. He's also a no drama dude, man. Louis Hamilton, it's like we're best friends. Like me and Louis Hamilton were hanging out. Like before his F1 race, he always comes to me. He's like, ring, ring, hey, Ron, bro. I need some guidance. And I'm like, Louis, I got you. Chill for 2 seconds. Okay, you need to take a deep breath. Hey, Ron's got you, right? No, that never happens. But obviously, if we did talk, I'd be like, bro, you know you hate drama. So if you need tea, you need to hang out with me on Wednesdays for Wasabi Wednesday, but you can't be with that because that shit is going to make you miserable. But here's the kicker. Louis don't care. The second this person becomes drama or they're not a +1, they're a -1, or they're just neutral, peace out. So I just trust my boy knows what he wants and knows how to get it. Now, a Winter Olympic tea. Are you guys ready for some wasabi stuff? I'm talking pure scandal Olympic stuff. So remember, penis gate. Okay. So the male ski jumpers allegedly got, listen to me, hyaluronic acid injections down their junk to enlarge things. And I swear on my life, to create more sail under their suits for a longer jump. More sail. You get that? Like now, I swear on my life, officials rolled out crotch scans and microchips to stop it. I swear to you. I swear to you. You can't make this crap up. Canadian curlers accused of straight up cheating. Boy, you can't touch that. You can't double touch that stone. And we know Sweden and Switzerland, well, we got video proof. So they release the handle, but then this little finger does this, past the line. Cheaters, freaking cheaters. Okay. You get those scrubbers. And then like it hits, goes bing, bing. And somebody's like, oh my God. Like that's basically curling. The Norwegian biathlete Sturla Holm Lagride won bronze February 10th, then went viral confessing live on TV that he cheated on the love of my life 3 months earlier. Yes, bro. This dude admitted he cheated while he was doing his interview. Moron. How do you say scarlet letter M for moron? The other guy that gets that is the moron that was holding his HR director, the CEO, and the entire world caught them on the kiss cam. And that moron, when they sit down because he's embarrassed, then when they say he's either doing that because he's having an affair, and the moron does this with his hands, basically confirming what it was subconsciously. Yeah, morons. And so, yeah, how about this? If you're going to win a medal, how about you just give props to that person and not tell the world that you cheated on them too? Like, let's not do that. Okay. Now, let's see what else is going on. Oh my gosh. That, okay, was your Wasabi Wednesday. And I know your brain is like sort of melting, but as a favor, don't crash because I know you're driving to work. Okay. So, but my job is to give you the heat, bro. No filter, right? No filler, right? It's just whatever. And you guys know, bro, the only requirement that I have for this show is you got to give me a like and a follow. That's it. Okay. So if you learned anything today, your only job, like and follow, tell their peeps about AA Ron. Okay. But if you have a question, man, we're here for you. We will take care of you. Okay. You can hit us up, businessforbreakfastradio.com. Ask a question. Hey, AA Ron, I've got an idea for a business. We will literally build a service-based business. I just did it yesterday. I built a mobile dog grooming business for under $1,000. We'll do the same thing. Okay. But ask me and we'll read it on air or reply directly, or go to speakwithaaron.com, speakwithaaron.com, and you'll get directly to me. We'll talk about business consulting strategy, taxes, payroll, software, whatever it is. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about, because in the end, we're big believers in our accounting firm that help should not be behind a locked paywall. It should be given freely. And we want to give this to you freely. Okay. So reach out to us. We're here for you. And I know that was your best business for breakfast that you've ever seen. Right. But remember, guys, if you think it's hard or you think it's easy, you're right. Okay. Don't just work in your business. Make sure you mind your own business. All right, my beautiful people, you got the news, you got the tips and tricks. Now go own this day. My name is Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, and you guys know what time it is. What time is it? You know, you see what I'm putting on. You know what time it is. It's time to get to work.